Everybody, this is Cool Dude, and welcome back to another cool review. Today, we're looking back, on an oldie but goodie, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we'll get to it. We'll get to the review later. Today we're looking over one of Tim Burton's first films, not the first one, because it was Pee-wee's Big Adventure, as we all know, or you should know, but, today we're looking over the infamous Mars Attacks. Yeah. If you're a true Tim Burton fan, like, you have to know Mars Attacks. Like, it's impossible for you to call yourself a Tim Burton fan and then not know that Mars Attacks exists, okay? Like, come on. So, Mars Attacks, the story, you know, is just very simple, honestly. It's a very simple synopsis, so I'm just gonna go through it real quick. So, the basic premise of the film is that Americans, you know, they're just living their everyday life, and then all of a sudden, Americans living their normal lives, all of a sudden they see these UFOs in outer space. They see UFOs, and they have no idea what they're going to do, and they are hoping to have communications with them. And then the Martians send a message to Earth saying that they want to meet. You know, they want to meet up with the people of Earth. And so they have no idea how to respond to this. So they decide to, you know what? Let's see what these Martians are about. And they meet them, and all chaos ensues. They basically just start attacking everybody. They start shooting up everything. And the rest of the movie is pretty much the humans just trying to fight off these Martians, trying to find some way to defeat these Martians or just get them to stop invading their planet and just have them just leave them alone. So, very clearly this movie is Tim Burton's, like, satirization of classic B movies, like, you know, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and, you know, all those other, like, campy, low-budget, B horror movies. For just how it's, like, made and the story that I just told is very simplistic, and just how, like, cheesy everything is. So let's get to the pros first. Pros number one is the star power in this. My God, I mean, you have Jack Nicholson, you have Glenn Close, I believe her name is. Yeah, Glenn Close. Glenn Close. You have that, you know, that lady from Beetlejuice, the receptionist. I want to say her name is. You have Jack Black. You have Michael J. Fox. You have just Tom Jones. Like, there's so much star power in this movie. It's absolutely insane. I did not realize this many celebrities was in the movie. It's kind of cool how he got all these people together. Number two, the Martians are just awesome design for an alien. Like, I love the classic, the big brain and the little, you know, the spaceman helmet and the green jumpsuit with the blaster and the eyeballs. Like, such an iconic look, such an iconic creature design. I love it a lot. It just screams Burton to me. That's like so Burton, something that comes out of Burton's imagination. Also, when the Martian attacks actually do happen, they are really funny, because this is supposed to be like a horror comedy, and it is really funny. Like, some of the stuff is really good. I won't spoil what happens, but, like, there's, like, one moment in particular I really love where, like, their UFO gets a giant boulder, and it just starts bowling over the Easter Isle statues like they're bowling pins. It's like, you need to watch the movie for that. It's, like, so funny. Granted, it takes a while to get there, a little bit too long in my opinion, but when it does get there, it's really, really enjoyable to watch. And, pro number 4 is that, yeah, it's just, like, I love the, overall B movie feel of this. Like, I know it's, like, has a higher budget than some of the other B horror movies that it's satirizing, but, you know, I just think it makes it all the better because it's just so over the top and just stupid and so, like cheesy and, like, campy. It's, like, I love the campiness of it, so that's really cool to me. However, even though I do like this movie fine, and I do think, it's a good Tim Burton movie, it does have a lot of problems that are preventing me from really loving this movie, like I do with, like, Beetlejuice and Pee-wee's Big Adventure and all those other movies that I think Tim Burton was way better at. So, let's just get to the cons of Mars Attacks. Con number 1 is the acting is, like, don't get me wrong, it's fine for, like, a few people like Jack Nicholson and, like, you know, Michael J. Fox, like, some of them do fine, but, like, the problem with the acting is just, like, most of them, spoiler, like, some of them just end up dying, like, really quickly. And so it feels like their performances are just like, what? Like, I'm sorry, who? And surprisingly, some of the more humorous people aren't that funny. Like, they aren't given any good stuff to work with. Like, the script of this movie, it's very hit or miss with Mars Attacks. And then con number 2 is that I just feel like it doesn't know what it wants to be. Like, I said earlier that it's a B horror movie, right? Like, it's a B horror comedy. but there are so many weird moments of like emotion, sort of. It's like, because there's a scene where one of the characters is like a soldier, you know, like an ex-soldier, and he gets killed when the Martians first attack, and then it's like, his face is like, you know, like a really goofy face, and he makes a cheap joke like, I surrender. And then literally later we get a funeral. And there's like no comedy in it. You know, you're like, it's clearly you're supposed to feel for something because the funeral goes on for a good minute and there's no laughs in it. So it's like, well then why did you have to put up with the silly face and the stupid joke before he died? Like, if you want to go full silly, then good. Then leave out the funeral. Leave out all like these, you're trying to get invested with these people, but it doesn't work because you can't be both funny and emotional at the same time. It's a very tricky thing to master. Because, like, if you completely focus on the emotional part and leave out the funny part, like, you're not going to get a very funny movie. But if you do too much on the funny part and leave out the emotion part, then you're going to, like, it's just going to be very confused what you're trying to be. So, I just think in the emotional moments it really just struggles, which is why some of my favorite moments are when it doesn't do that. It goes full out with the Martians and all that stuff. And con number 4 is that it really is kind of... no offense, but it is very, I guess, sloppily made. Like, it feels like, I know it's supposed to be Saturday of B-horror movies, so it's, like, very loose in how it functions and whatnot, but even then, it's, like, I feel like some of the scenes can be very pointless at points, and I know it's just supposed to be, like, the charm of B-horror movies. It's just so much pointless stuff just to focus on the monsters, but still, like, I would like a better flow with everything, you know what I mean? Like, I'd like a better, like, beginning, middle, end. I feel like that middle goes on way too long, and it's a little bit too pointless for me, so I would have liked a little bit more clean structure there. So some of the running jokes are not funny. There's this one character that always wants to nuke the Martians, and it's funny for, like, the first few times, and then when it gets to the end, it's like, okay. But I will admit, it leads to a funny payoff at the end, like, with the nuke thing. Like, it leads to a pretty funny sight gag. Like, I'll give it that, but, you know, it's just like, it went on too long, you know, to make it really funny. And, lastly, I think this movie just really struggles in the effects. Like, some of the effects have not aged well, like, at all. The Martians, I know they're supposed to be, like, really fake, but even then, like, the UFOs don't look good, the robot doesn't look good, like, some of the stuff that they do, it does not look good, but I don't blame it, because it is a pretty old movie. Also, you know, with the movie, the music behind this movie is really good. I'm sorry I'm putting this in the cons section, it's pretty confusing, but the music, this is really good, too. Danny Elfman, that first... opening track is one of my favorite ones from Danny Elfman, because it's very menacing, but it's also very, like, over the top, like, because it does have this big orchestra, and there's this ding, 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 like, it's so epic, campy, and yet somehow really, like, Burton, like, I love that. So, overall, I'd give this a 3 ack-acks out of 5. You know, if you've seen the movie, you know what I did there with the ack-ack. So, yeah, this one is decent. I like it. It's decent. If you're a Burton fan, please watch it. Highly recommend it. It just screams Burton. If you're an average moviegoer looking for, like, a solid horror comedy that you're gonna really like, I'm not gonna lie, you should probably sit this one out. Because it might be funny, like, it might be funny for the Martians, but, like, I don't know if you're gonna really love it, you know what I mean? It's not something that's gonna stick with you. But if you're a Tim Burton fan, highly recommend it. And if you like B-horror movies, I recommend this one. Like, if you like B-horror movies and you like Tim Burton, please watch. But if you're going for, like, a good horror comedy, like something like What We Do in the Shadows or Shaun of the Dead or something like that, I don't think you're going to get it here. So, with that said, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, let me leave a like, and let me know what you think of Mars Attacks down in the comments. I don't know how many people have seen Mars Attacks, but whatever. I don't care. I'm just going to talk about it anyway, because it's my channel. I do whatever the hell I want. And you don't even have to comment about Mars Attacks. Just comment me about anything. I appreciate it. And until next time, guys, stay cool, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, y'all.